was talking to Jason Fichtner the other day, and I know that you both work for the Alliance for Lifetime Income and trying to get the messaging out, etc. And I'll ask you the same question I asked him. Do you think the annuity industry as a whole has kind of dropped the ball on the monopoly that they have for lifetime income? Because when people hear the word annuity, they vomit. I call annuity the curse word in the financial industry, which leads to the question, hey, Stan, why did you name yourself Stan the Annuity Man? I believe in these products. I believe in the transfer risk nature of them. And I think a monopoly is good when the product is good. How can the messaging be better to the public out there when every single person already owns Social Security, which is the best inflation annuity on the planet? What's your take on that as a smart guy in the room?
I mean, there have been Dateline specials against annuities, right? Chris Hansen pops out and says hello, like bad things are about to happen. I don't think it was actually Chris Hansen, but I think as an industry we're moving forward, right? I think the problem is that you often get judged by the worst within your ranks.
Yeah, there's bad apples in every industry for sure.
Yes, and I would even go as far to say that maybe there's more bad apples in this world versus other financial products because there isn't the need to be a fiduciary, right? A lot of people out there are selling product, they make a commission, and they're done. They have no, they're not really looking out for the best interests of their clients.
Correct.
And so that's one way to address it. I don't know that I think that that's the best way. I think the one thing that has gotten me excited is that more advisors are looking into these products. And I get so tired of advisors saying that they hate annuities. And anyone listening might even know what I'm.
And it's the dumbest statement of all time. It's like saying I hate all restaurants. It's just dumb.
And that's my point. And so I'm like advisors that I know, and I will often engage them on LinkedIn, and they never have an original thing to say because they always say the same thing. They say oh, I've seen so many crappy products, and I'm like, listen, do you buy crappy mutual funds for your client's portfolio?
Right.
There's crappy funds out there, but you know what you can do because you have human capital specifically in helping clients accomplish their financial goals. So what you're good at is helping select products that help them do those things. And so when it comes to investments, you can pick a portfolio of the best mutual funds or ETFs around, right? Of course I can. Okay, well, let's just acknowledge that there's a spectrum of quality of annuities out there too.
Sure.
You mean to tell me there's not a single one that can't help your clients? Oh, well, that's when they stop. They're like, well, I'm just like really, if you have 100 clients that are retirees, sure, maybe only 20 of them need one. I'm just going to pick a really low number.
Sure.
But for that 20, it is like a rock solid option that you should be considering, but you're not. And so I think I'd like to think that there are more advisors that are realizing that being aware of at least certain strategies, the ones that best in your store, whether it's a DS, I don't know that I have a strong preference on the product type as long as it's a quality product.
It comes down to what, I always ask people two questions. What do you want the money to contractually do? And when do you want those contractual guarantees to start?
Yeah.
From there, then we go to the product that's going to provide the highest contractual guarantee, and you go to my site and run the quotes yourself. The point is, I think the industry, the Alliance for Lifetime Income, I'd rather, instead of sponsoring the Stones, and I love Mick and the Stones, I've partied with them in Bahamas many a time, I'd rather that money be spent, bring everyone in, and let's have it out. And let's get one message, let's all have one message, and let's go forward, and let's get in front of this demographic tidal wave. Now, the interesting part is, even if they don't do that, the annuity industry is going to benefit because there's a demographic tidal wave, and they're all looking for guarantees. But the time for education is certainly now. That's the reason I have 400 plus videos and do 20 a month and do my podcast and written 7 books on educating the public that, yes, you might think it's a curse word, but it's not. And I'll one last thing, and I want you to comment on this. Banks and brokerage firms will bring me in undercover and have me speak to their masters of the universe, people that are managing a lot of money. And I'll say this: if you have the income floor in place, because I used to work for Morgan Stanley, Dean Woodard, Payne Weber, UBS. I did that. I was on that side of the table. If you have the income floor in place and it's contractual, you're a better investor or you're a better advisor. And there's no disputing that. Do you think that's true?
Undoubtedly. I mean, I think that it changes your client conversation, right? I mean, advisors know that they don't usually have all the assets, especially that people have tons of money. And so I think that when you evolve your conversation from, I'm going to create alpha And I mean, alpha is not an easy thing to do. I'm helping you accomplish your financial goals and ensuring that you have income for life. That to me just is a better story. It is a remarkable story, and you're actually helping the client do what they're effectively paying you to do, but in a different way. I mean, a lot of advisors screw up building portfolios. This idea of planning is a new thing.
Well, and most advisors always say I have cowboy boots older than they are because they've never seen a down market and they just think it's always going to go up. There will be a reckoning. You and I both know that. We don't know how long it's going to last, but it will happen. I wanted to ask you, without you giving away the intellectual property pie here, and the main company that you work for is Prudential, and I know that you're doing research and trying to create solutions for good retirement outcomes. What surprised you in the past few years of what you've found, or have you been surprised as you're going down a path and looking at blue water strategies that's never been looked at before?
Well, I think the most interesting place for the future, and I'm not the only person that's kind of well aware of this, is making 401k plans retirement income vehicles. Today, 401ks get you to retirement. I'd like to see the future as them getting people through retirement. It's not to suggest that individuals can't or shouldn't roll out to an advisor, but a 401k it has an institutional fiduciary. It has professional money management. You can get economies of scale. It's not a defined benefit plan, but you can get it pretty close if you start layering in guaranteed income, protected strategies, advisors, advice. And, where I get excited is just for mass America. I know that people that have lots of money will always want to go work with an advisor, but the idea of an institutional fiduciary available to everyone, having low cost, high quality options with some kind of guaranteed or protected strategy, that to me is a better way forward than, hey, why don't you save some money in this DC 401k plan, right, and then when you're done later, figure it out on your own.
Hey, Stan the Annuity Man here. Did you like that little taste of my podcast, Fun with Annuities? Hey, if you want to see the full version, click the link and watch the whole darn thing. Remember, Fun with Annuities. Living the reality, not the dream.